My name is Paul Hanselman. I'm an assistant professor of sociology here at UCI. I got my PhD in sociology from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I did postdoctoral research here in the School of Education and also at the University of Texas at Austin at the Population Research Center there. So I'm coming from Austin, very excited to be back in Irvine. My research is about how schools contribute to educational inequalities and what we can do about it. I'm especially interested in how local contexts, like the kinds of opportunities that students are exposed to or the kinds of experiences that they have, how those things shape their trajectories over time and can lead to more or less social inequality in the long term. Of course, we know that school experiences are formative and have lasting consequences, so it's really important to improve them. But, of course, schools are complicated places, so it's very difficult to separate out specific influences and specific ways that we can make improvements. One way that my work addresses this challenge is through the use of randomized controlled field trials in schools. So the idea here is that we try to change in a very precise way one aspect of how students interact with schools or one type of opportunity they experience. And then we trace what happens and we see what consequences that has going forward. And as a sociologist, I'm especially interested in when we do the same, we make the same change, same small change in different kinds of places, how we can get different results. That can tell us about the different kinds of contexts that students are experiencing in their day-to-day life at school. So one example from my current research is a study focusing on students' growth mindsets in school. So an academic growth mindset is the idea, the belief that your intelligence is malleable and it changes over time. And so it's with practice that you grow and get better. Another perspective would be more of a fixed mindset, the idea that you're just as smart as you are and nothing you can do can change it. We see having a fixed mindset as a barrier to success for students in school because when you get a bad test grade, for instance, it's just a signal that you're not smart and it can be discouraging. Whereas if you take a growth mindset, you can see that as an opportunity to learn more, to grow, to do better. And so the idea is that by promoting more of a growth mindset, we can improve students' educational experiences and their ultimate outcomes, especially for students who are struggling. So right now I'm working on a study that is promoting a growth mindset for students as they make the transition to high school in 9th grade, with the idea that this could be especially beneficial for students who are struggling. We're doing this in a nationally representative sample of high schools from all across the country to see whether this has different impacts in different places. You can imagine that some schools have very different messages. They present students with very different messages about their ability and intelligence, more of a growth or a fixed mindset, for instance. And so we would expect a specific growth mindset encouragement to have different kinds of influences in different places. And those differences are going to give us some information about the different kinds of schools that students experience across our country. I'm excited to be coming back to UCI because it's such a great place to be doing research, both that makes a difference, especially in educational settings, and also pushes the boundaries of what we understand about how social processes work in schools. I'm especially excited to be joining an interdisciplinary cluster that's committed to improving outcomes for students from low SES backgrounds in schools.